I24 News correspondent Hamda Salhout is live now at the West Bank with the update from there. Hamda.
Jacob, good evening. I'm standing directly with Nablus behind me. That is where that operation took place this morning, in which the Israeli forces killed 3 Palestinians, 2 of them Hamas operatives responsible for the death of the 3 British Israeli women. And the 3rd person who was killed was a person who was aiding in their hideout. Now, that took place inside the old city. A lot of images coming out of there this morning. Earlier, while we were standing here, there was some gunfire from the funeral processions from those 3 individuals. The Palestinian Authority and the factions alike speaking out, condemning these crimes, quote, of the occupation, saying that these types of things that Israeli forces do will be answered by the factions. Now, in Hawara, where we also were earlier, the funeral procession taking place for a 26-year-old Palestinian woman who was shot and killed by Israeli forces. The Israeli military says that she was attempting to stab a soldier with a knife and was able to hurt him in the shoulder. Some clashes still ongoing in the city.
Hamda Salhout, thank you very much for this update. With us now are retired Major General Eitan Dangot, former coordinator of Israeli government activities in the Palestinian territories for IDF, and Samer Sinijlawi, a Fatah activist from Jerusalem. Let me start with you, Mr. Dangot. It was a relatively elaborate operation today in Nablus with a large number of participating soldiers. How do you see it?
I think, first of all, that it shows success, and again, it shows one important thing from Israel to its civilian, from the IDF, Interior Security Service, among all the defense forces. We will not close any circle, any case that caused casualties and people who died without putting the end of those murderers. And none place in the West Bank is going to be a shelter, not in Nablus, not in Jenin, not in other places. It took days. It was very, I estimate, very difficult, step by step, with a very, very sensitive intelligence. I think that those murderers made, from their part of behavior, a lot of effort to prevent any kind of information that can come to the Israelis, that they know that after them. Secondly, the timing that Israel decided to go inside Nablus, it was a decision that you can lost those 2 figures if you're not entering in the middle of the day to the Kasbah of Nablus in a very complicated area, which means you don't know when you are entered how it will continue and whether you have to stay more. The other circles of support were probably supposed to get a fire from the back, from those who are coming to help them, and it was like this. That is the reason that you can find there few circles of the Israeli Defense Forces, special units in the main circle to put the end on those murderers, another circle and another one in order to put them the umbrella.
A very big effort.
A lot of efforts, a lot of technology, and I think one thing it showed towards this tragic, or what happened with this tragic murderer. I think we showed our duty to the family and to the father and the daughters.
Let me go to you, Mr. Sinijlawi. How do you see this?
Well, I see that more and more this explanation of how things are settled, these accounts, it is as if it is a war between criminal gangs. You take one, we take one. Is this the way, Mr. Dangot? And I know that you are a very respectful leading figure in the, or was a leading figure in the security establishment. You gained the respect not only of the Israelis, you gained respect of almost all the Palestinians who were contacting you and who were, doing different kind of security coordination and other coordination. Is this really the solution for this circle of violence and bloodshed? Is this the way that will put an end to civilians losing their lives on both sides? Or should we be courageous enough into getting into a political process that can end this whole conflict? Settling the accounts into death is not a good strategy. And I want to ask you a question. The 2 people that committed the attack, on the three ladies some weeks ago were identified. What about the third person? A third person lost his life. Even if he was providing protection, is this enough crime to take out his life? Are we in a jungle? And who decides? Was it a judge that decided that these three people, and I'm speaking on behalf of the third person, that this third person committed enough crime that is enabling somebody to take out his life? Is this the way that we are trying to solve such a complicated conflict? We need to end all of this. And this can end only through political process and diplomatic compromises. Israel cannot continue managing the situation as it is.
This is definitely not the peace process here, that's for sure. It's a war. What's your response, Dangot?
I think that Samer raised two different things. First of all, let's say was the easy one, because we know each other also from the past, and I know his position today as well, and from time to time I'm reading what he's saying. But no doubt that after such a war, that it depends who is on the other side, on your side, Samer, that we are not able this time to come to a process of making like a peace agreement in the West Bank, because the Palestinian authorities are very weak. They don't get the support now in such a way they can come by themselves and said, we can sit with you and promise to you there is no, no control.
Let me ask
Jacob,
Mr. Sinijlawi.
no control from the Palestinian authorities in the area. So what is the opportunity? The opportunity is now to defend the people's life. And the third guy is a killer like the other. He had the opportunity to go out. He had the gun nearby him. I'm sure he shoot also when they entered inside. So don't feel pitiness towards murderers. Instead, feel pitiness towards those who will be hurt by them.